Hello everybody, it is December 11 and welcome to another episode of Flossmas. Now the eagle-eyed among you will probably notice that yes, this is exactly the same shirt I was wearing in the December 10 video. It is still actually December 10, but I just needed to get this taken care of ahead of time, but you'll still get to see it in normal time, so thank you for putting up with the little fun things of life that we get to do sometimes. So I do have a couple of things to show you today, of course, the same things that we do every day, but we will start with our FFO. So this is a previously finished piece that I have up in my house. And this is a piece that I finished a number of years ago, and it is a shepherd's bush piece called Mary, Mary Bee. And this is, as you'll see, it's got a little bit of ribbon ruching around it with some buttons, really fun kind of a flannel fabric on the back that I finished there. And this is actually the first piece that I stitched using silk. It came as a full kit, came with all of the finishing. The only thing it didn't come up with is like the backing fabric and things like that. But I saw it in the shop and I just thought it was such a wonderful, cute little pattern. And I love the sheep, but I love the stockings. And so I had to have it. And so it was a piece that I finished a number of years ago. I actually finished stitching this somewhere in the middle of the night over the Atlantic on my way over to Germany for one of my trips over there. And then it sat for many years unfinished. It was just one of those things in the, bin under the bed or whatever it is that we call those things. So I did finally get this out just a year or two ago and fully finished it. I have to say the ruching isn't not the greatest thing I've ever done in the world, but you know what? I've done it and I tried it and I learned from it. So what more can you say about it? But even so, I think that this is just a really wonderful piece, something that I enjoy having out on my Christmas display each year. So that is by Shepherd's Bush. And then the pattern that I want to show you for today that is something I haven't stitched yet is something called Masha and The Nutcracker. And this is by Little Room in the Attic, and this is something that I got on Etsy. And the Nutcracker is also one of those things that I didn't really grow up with. I've seen it a couple of times, but it doesn't quite hold that same special place for me as I know it does for many other people. But I saw this pattern and I really loved it. I love the delicacy of the lines. I love her hair. I love the way she's had it holding the Nutcracker. So I thought, you know what? I can stitch it. It doesn't have to be something that just really speaks to me every time. Sometimes you just like a pattern and it is something that you want to have. So this is a piece that I really enjoy. And that is Masha and the Nutcracker. And I found this one on Etsy. And the next thing that we have to show you is, of course, our advent calendar that we're stitching together. I say that like, well, I'm doing all the work. You're doing all of the watching, but I think you all have the best end of the deal. But this is day 11. And as I mentioned, this was a tiny little snowman. And there was a lot of little over one stitching, but he's got his little broom. And I think he's pretty cute. So that is the latest. And in case you're tuning in recently and haven't seen all of the episodes, I am stitching this 1/2 using Vicki Clayton silks. And this is on a 36 count color and cotton fabric that was a limited edition. And that is where we are on that, which is, again, it's amazing that we're almost 2 weeks into this. So the next couple of things that we have are, of course, the advent calendars that we're opening up together. And I will start with the Historical Sampler Company today, and this is December 11. Oh, how pretty. Oh, we've got a needle minder, and it's a Christmas tree. How wonderful. I love that. It's got a really nice weight to it. It's a wooden needle minder. And I love the patterning in it. I'm not even sure quite how that one is made, how the design is on there, but I love that. Really beautiful. That one isn't even going into the little bin where I'm keeping everything so far. That's immediately going on into my needle minder tin. And then the next one we have, of course, is Tom and Lily Creations Thread Calendar. And we have, oh, Glacier. What a beautiful light pale blue. Of course, darker at the bottom, a little bit lighter at the top. Really lovely color. Fantastic. That'll be great to use. So those are our 2 advent calendars for the day. And then the other thing that I want to talk about, it's not going to take a huge amount of time, I don't think, but is really what I was doing with my Sunday, and that was making cookies. I will show you. I made chocolate chip, sea salt, and peanut butter cookies. These are some of my favorites, and I haven't made them in a couple of years, so as soon as we're done filming, I am absolutely going to be having this cookie, and no, it is not the first sample that I've had from this batch. Christmas cookies used to be something, it used to be a tradition that I partook in every year. I would make multiple cookies. I would spend at least one day just completely dirtying up the kitchen and making multiple kinds of cookies. And I would spend the couple of weeks leading up to it figuring out which ones I wanted to try. And I always had old favorites and some new ones that I wanted, and making sure that I had all of the ingredients and the lots and lots of butter that I was going to need. And it was always just something that I enjoyed about each Christmas season. And I don't actually eat cookies that much. Like, I like taking a couple of samples, but then I'm good. I don't need to have a lot of cookies, but I enjoyed making them. I enjoyed the process of it. I enjoyed thinking about it in that time of year. And then I enjoyed giving them away. And COVID really kind of changed all of that. It was something where I couldn't give things away, and it wasn't really fun to make them when I knew that I wasn't going to be doing anything with them, or feeling like they might go to the waste or they just go sit in the freezer for months, because I didn't have anybody to give them away to. And so this year I had a couple of things this week where I need to bring in some cookies, and I found myself a little bit reluctant to do it because I haven't done it in a while. Like, I knew exactly what I wanted to make. I knew I was going to make these cookies. They make a lot, so it's a good one to choose, but it was hard to get back into it. I did enjoy it today. I really did enjoy it, and it was reminding me of what it is about the baking that I liked, and I'm hoping that it will be something that the people that I do give them to this week will appreciate them. And so I'm hoping that it will bring back some of the pleasure that I used to have in this Christmas tradition, but it's one that's definitely gone away for a while. And so we'll see how it goes. But hopefully it will be something that returns. And even if I just start with one kind of cookie, maybe next year I can make two or something like that. We'll see. But it was nice to get back to it, and I'm hopeful that it will be something I enjoy again in the future. But for now, we'll see. But in the meantime, I will see if I can find a copy of this recipe. It's one I found online a number of years ago, so you never quite know if a recipe is available online. But if I can, I will post a copy of it because it is one of my favorite kinds of cookies. The one thing I will say is it tells you that the recipe yields about 2 dozen cookies. I find that it usually yields at least twice that, and I usually make a double batch, so I had a lot of cookies that I was making today, but they're pretty easy, and they taste really great. So if I can, I will post a copy of that, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy. I don't know, tell me if there are any holiday traditions that you used to enjoy but maybe haven't been doing as much, or are looking to return to but haven't had an opportunity or maybe the inclination to do it, because I think that happens to us sometimes too. But I do hope that you'll be able to find some pleasure in it, and again, in the same way that I did. And in the meantime, I am absolutely going to devour that cookie now that we're done. So thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.